You could just do what you want to do, except for nastiness. But you're definitely a fussy woman. Very fussy. Very fussy. And talks a lot, too.
My
I couldn't deal with that stuff.
oh, do you know that what after that what happened? A lot black people, black matter people, racist. They don't like they blame and everything on Asian people. They treat Asian people like no shit. They talk shit about Asian people. They say Corona. They see Asian people. They afraid. They treat them really bad. You know that.
You know what? I didn't quite hear everything. You're kind of too far from the mic.
I mean, a lot black matter people, racist. Some black African people, generation, they talk shit about Asian people. If the Asian people walk by in the home and they see Asian, they get corona. They talk shit about Asian people. If they see they're eating whatever, they a lot racist black community talk shit about Asian people. Black
Yeah,
people,
but most likely they follow Donald Trump. You know, there's some black people who are very pro-Trump. I mean, I can't understand it. You know, but that's what it is. And I noticed that those kind of people who are usually very pro-Trump, black people, whoever, who tend to be very pro-Trump, they tend to be either racist against other people, you know, from other places. That's what I've noticed. They tend to be very critical of people, whether foreigners or so forth. So
and they all
I've noticed that.
they
'Cause
don't like Asian
there's one
people.
particular person very, very pro-Trump who's black, and to me, he comes across as very anti, you know, when it comes to different things with Asians and so forth, and very, very, very pro-Trump, very anti-China, and so forth. Oh, so yeah, I think he believes that Trump will solve all the problems. But you
They
know
all
what? China been around a long time. China been around long before the United States of America even existed. China been.
and they call Asian Kelowna. They treat Asian people bad. Um, they blame on Asian people. It's called Black Matter. That's why those people they don't like. It's called Black Matter or something.
Black Matter.
Yeah, they call people. They don't like Asian people.
I never heard of that. Why don't you send me a link where you get that stuff from that I could
I,
read?
Facebook people call a lot like Asian people.
Then I can read it.
And so I find that I send it to you. So they racist, they mean to Asian people. Like this Asian lady, she cannot speak English. She's kind of old, and they see her walk by. They say Kelowna. A lot of California black people say that to them. They racist to Asian people. Black people is now,
Yeah.
and what I mean. If they
But
have a
you
lot.
know, not say. I mean, to me, that's terrible. Picking on people because of their race and associating them with certain things. But in Asia, like in China, they do just as worse too. especially in their own country where they feel comfortable, they're picking people like they're picking African people and so forth. They make racist comments, and the Chinese government doesn't even do anything. And in China, as big as China is, if the Chinese government wants to fine you, if you write something in like Weibo, one of those social platforms, you write something on the internet that the Chinese government doesn't like, they will fine you. Like they did find the Chinese doctor who made the comment, and he was correct. But the Chinese government, people can make all kinds of racist comments about Africans, and the Chinese government does absolutely nothing, nothing. Whereas in America, I mean, even though we have free speech, we also have hate crime here, in many of the states. We have hate crime. So you can't just be making comments like that about a whole group of people. But China doesn't really care. You see, they don't care. So yeah, it's wrong what these people do. But then when you look at China, they don't really have a history of really caring about how people care about foreigners. They say what they want, and they tell you what they want in their face. They don't seem to have any
Don't
shame
follow.
whatsoever. They
You know
tell you what's on their mind. They don't care. Even
me?
though China, they in Africa, they in different countries. There was an article in the New York Times I read, um, where this Chinese guy, these Chinese people go into Africa and these African countries, telling, I think it was in Kenya, saying how the president of Kenya looks like a monkey, and so all this kind of nonsense. I seen the president of Kenya. The president of Kenya is a good-looking man. I mean, really. And this is the kind of nonsense they talk. And in their own country, and treating the Africans like that in their own country. So yeah, those people ought to be. I think eventually he was deported, but he was caught in a video talking like that and treating people like that, African. So they really have no respect. They have absolutely no respect, and this is one reason why some people don't really feel sorry for some of these Chinese. What's happening? Because the Chinese people, they have no respect in China. They go to countries in Africa. They have absolutely no respect. They talk down to the Africans. They're very demeaning and so forth. And they act like they're superior. When in fact, they talked about the century of humiliation when after they had the opium wars, and they were, China was basically divvied up, controlled by some European countries like England, uh, Portugal, even Germany. Germany had like a base in eastern China, for example. Japan also was in China. So China was humiliated. And they were not humiliated by any African countries. They were humiliated by Europeans. They were humiliated by the Japanese and so forth. Yet, when it comes to venting their anger, the Chinese want to vent their anger or frustration on Africans who did absolutely nothing to them. You see, but they have no problem with the Europeans, like the British, for example. They have no problem. They have no problem with that. So I mean, it's like they have their priorities mixed up. Who want to worship? And it's like okay, so they got beaten up so much probably in the past by the Europeans, the French, and all these people, so that they figure, well, you know what? They beat us up in the past, and we should look up to them. So we'll beat up on the Africans because the Africans are too poor to do anything while we taking their natural resources. Instead of saying, well, now we're a strong country, let's teach these guys a lesson.